Bass a maximum. Loudness on. Plenty of bass. Here was the Eurobandit here once again with another audio gear review, and today I'm gonna do a review of my Pioneer SX-434 stereo receiver from the mid-70s. Now I have owned this thing for quite a while, and now I decided to finally do a review before I'll put it on sale. You'll find out the reason why I'm selling this thing later on in this video. The Pioneer SX-434 has been introduced in 1974 and it has been made until 1976. It's a beautiful receiver with a very nice design. I like this black tuning scale, and when you turn it on it's nice and blue. Now this is a design that came in about the late 60s from what I know, and it has been popular until about the mid 70s when it slowly started going away, and you know, even Pioneer started having the tuning scale about the same color as the faceplate, usually silver. Now from what I know, this is the predecessor of the SX-450, and I did own an SX-450 a while ago. I actually bought one in 2012 and I sold it a bit later. I didn't quite like that one, but I actually prefer this one a bit better. They both have the same specs, but you know, I think that the biggest difference is the design itself. Otherwise they're pretty damn similar. They're not actually the same, but they're very similar. Like on this 434 you'll find these beautiful wooden panels and the whole cover is made out of wood, while on the SX-450 it only has the wooden panels on both sides and just a regular black metal cover, which also has vents in the back side, while this one, as you can clearly see, does not have any vents, and that's a bit of a disadvantage. It's not affecting the performance, but the only issue is that whenever I turn it on, you know, all your home electronics get a bit warmer when they operate, and this one is no exception. When it's turned off, you know, it's just basically the typical room temperature, and when I turn it on, it starts heating up a bit. It's normal. When the heat rises, there's no vents. The heat doesn't escape, it just stays inside. It actually has some vents underneath it, so it's not completely ventless, but this wooden cover makes a bit of a sound. It's kind of hard to explain, but it makes kind of a pop sound when it warms up. I mean, it's the wood itself, it's nothing serious. Even the CRT TV sets do make that kind of a crack noise or something similar. When I turn it off, it makes that sound again. If I would have kept it for myself, I would probably drill a few holes, you know, so let the heat escape easier. Or maybe not, because I wouldn't really want to damage its original wood cover. The other disadvantage I found about this receiver is that this wooden cover is pretty damn thin. But other than that, it's a nice, beautiful receiver, and I definitely prefer this over the SX-450. It's also worth more. That's what I've noticed. I mean, I've paid 1,200 Swedish crowns for this thing back when I bought it, which is a bit too much because its price isn't that high. At that time it was probably 800 or 900 Swedish crowns, but this one is mint, so that's why I've paid a bit more. I thought I'd keep it, but nah. I only keep things that I actually really like and enjoy, and this isn't really one of them, but I like this little receiver. It's a really nice receiver. I often buy things just to try them out. That's what I usually do, and if I like something I'll obviously keep it. This one, I really like it, but not to the point where I would keep it. And as you would expect with these lower budget receivers, when you turn them on, the speakers will make a pop sound, and that's kind of typical, and they will flex a bit. The SX-450 did the same. Here's the power switch / speaker selectors. As you can see, it's now set at power off, so the whole thing is turned off. If you select speakers A, it will turn on, and only the speakers A will turn on. Or you can turn off the speakers. You can do that if you want to use the headphones, I guess, then speakers B, or you can have both speakers A and B at the same time, which is nice. So let's turn it on. Let's select speakers A. And it did turn on beautifully. Speakers did flex once. It's normal. This thing doesn't have a speaker relay. And as you can see, the tuning scales lit up nice and blue. It looks beautiful, and it looks nice and dark as well. And as you can see, even the tuning pointer is lit up. And this thing is plastic, as you can see, and the color starts coming off right about in here, because it's black and it's painted to look like chrome to match the faceplate, but it's slowly fading away. And what I would have probably done if I would have kept it was I would have probably sanded the whole thing, and it would have been black. Probably not would have been that pretty, but it would have still looked much better. So without further ado, let's go to the features and functions as usual. This is the phone jack, bass, treble, single pot, obviously doesn't have dual pot, balance control, volume, so all these knobs are the same size, loudness, tape monitor. These two are for the FM muting and mono / stereo select. And this is the function button, AM, FM, phono and microphone or aux. And nice and big tuning knob, which I really like. These two small wood panels are attached to the faceplate with a few screws. The power output is 15 watts per channel into 8 ohms, just like the Pioneer SX-434. Frequency response from 30 Hz to 25 kHz. Total harmonic distortion 0.8%, dampening factor 25. Speaker load impedance from 4 ohms to 16 ohms, which is very good. And it weighs 8.1 kilograms. Alright, so this is how it looks like on the inside. This is the tuning scale. Well, I recently did some basic maintenance. I just cleaned and lubed all the pots and switches. And unfortunately, as you can see, you can't really access them. You don't have access to the potentiometers or switches. So instead, as you can see, there's these tiny holes where you're supposed to squirt the spray right in here. As you can see, each pot has its own hole, including this power switch / speaker selector. And the switches themselves, well, on top of them, just like so. And this is pretty much how the bottom side looks like. Again, nice and clean. It truly is a receiver that's been very well taken care of. Alright, so that's how the backside looked like. The reason why I'm selling this receiver is because, well, there's multiple reasons, but the biggest reason is because it's not really a real receiver that I actually like that much, to the point where I would keep it. And then what I don't like about it is this cover. It's too thin and it doesn't have any vents, so it makes those sounds when it warms up. But other than that, it's a very good receiver. I definitely recommend it. And these things go up in value, so I don't know how much they're worth, but by the time you're watching this video, this thing is sold. Sound wise, it's very good. I don't really think I'm missing anything. Of course, it doesn't sound like the high-end models, but it sounds very good, and I'm sure it beats a lot of receivers in its class. It has plenty of bass and whatnot. Now I'm gonna play some music. Bass on flat, sort of, treble on flat as usual, loudness off. Not a whole lot of bass. Bass on flat, loudness on. Loudness off. Bass on maximum. Bass on maximum, loudness on. Bass on flat, loudness off. Bass a maximum. Loudness on. Plenty of bass. Even though it has 15 watts per channel, these are real watts, not like today's bullshit. So anyway, now I'm gonna end this video. Hope you liked it. If you did, why not? Thumbs up, check out my other videos, and if you like what I'm doing, now subscribe, and I'll definitely see you next time. Cheers.